For 75 years, Fulbright Austria has been creating opportunities for US and Austrian citizens.
At the start of our 75th anniversary celebrations, Catherine Hertlein and Valerie Burkle, both alums and members of the 2025 Alum Advisory Panel, introduced our Alum Spotlight series and shared their own personal stories. Thank you to both Kat and Val for kicking off this series. The opportunities that Fulbright Austria creates can be broadly broken down into three categories: opportunities for students, for scholars, and for teaching assistants. In this video, we shine a spotlight on the experience of our Austrian and US Fulbright students.
These stories raise awareness of the impact that these programs have not just on the individual program participants, but also on the broader US and Austrian communities. We hope that stories like Nesrin's and Tristan's demonstrate the value of international exchange and inspire citizens of both countries to apply to our student programs. For now, sit back, relax, and enjoy while Nesrin and Tristan take center stage.
Hi everyone, my name is Nesrin and I'm a 2020 Fulbright alumni. When I reflect about my experience and what Fulbright enabled me to do, I really look back fondly on that time. I was a master's student at the University of Washington in Seattle, and I studied culturally sustaining pedagogy. Beyond the many friendships that I gained and the connections, I think one of the most precious things that I took from that experience was the ability to open up to new discussions, to learn from my peers, to have a space where you can openly and critically talk about different socio-political issues. I think having the space to openly engage in discussions and sometimes not agree or be on the same page, but just engaging with each other and listening to each other's experiences. And I really appreciated that I was in a space that not just valued voices of color, but also that I had white peers, for example, that were very willing to learn, that were willing to listen when we were talking about issues of discrimination or race or systemic issues within the education system. I really appreciated the texts that we engaged with and the books that we read during my time at university, because I think I otherwise wouldn't have necessarily engaged with them and had those rich discussions. And I think just the resources that the university had available, from so many libraries, access to so many resources, sports events that I attended. I went to my first American football game, and even though I'm not necessarily a sports person, it was still a very rich experience, and I felt very welcomed at the university and by my peers. A lot of times, international students have a hard time when they move abroad to find community, and I felt very supported by the Fulbright team, but also from people at the university, from friends and people that have now become like family. So I would say through the Fulbright experience, you don't just gain so many great insights into the US culture, US history, but you also get to be critical about what you see and what you read, and engage with different people from different walks of life. You gain a lot of great relationships from that too. And I don't think that would have been possible if it weren't for the Fulbright scholarship. I see it as a privilege to be able to go abroad, and not everyone has that opportunity to go abroad and study and don't have to worry about that financial aspect of things. So I encourage especially people of color that might have been apprehensive to apply to Fulbright to really share their voice, share their thoughts, apply to Fulbright, have that experience, because it is definitely going to change. And for me, that meant that I went actually, after my Fulbright experience and my master's ended, I went back to get my now PhD in teacher education. My journey continues, and I'm really excited about what's to come. And I want to wish Fulbright a happy 75th birthday to many more years.
Hi, I'm Tristan. I was a combined grantee, so that means that I did teaching and I did research. And something that's really gonna stick with me, I think, is how much of an impact you can have on students without realizing it. I remember very vividly, just by sort of coincidence, I bumped into some of my students and then they kind of expressed that they weren't feeling good about an English exam. So I ended up tutoring 2 of them. And I remember we sat there for 3 hours, really only spoke in English the entire time. I went through so many notes and tips for their exam. A couple weeks later, they both came up to me super, super excited. So they said, we did it. They had both gotten the 2nd highest grade, which was far better than they had ever done before. And in that moment, I remember thinking to myself, it made the entire year of teaching worth it. And that's something that I'll definitely keep with myself. From the research aspect, I think the learning about the world of research in a different country is so way, way, way different than I expected it to be. I thought the techniques and the types of scientific, inquiry would be kind of similar, but there's cultural differences there too, and technological too. So it's really interesting to compare those two, I would say. I would recommend this program if you're looking to really live in a different culture. I came into this thinking oh, this would be a fun experience abroad, but 1 full year, and coming up to 2 now, is a long time, and you have to be prepared to truly live in a different place. It's not a vacation. It's a really, really beautiful thing to consider yourself, oh, this is home. I consider Vienna a home for me, which is a very, very strange thing. I was coming back from a trip, and I remember pulling up into the main train station here in Vienna, and every cell in my body relaxed and told me, I'm home. And I was like, whoa, I'm home, Vienna is now home. And that was a really, really strange moment for me. A really awesome one too.